Thank you very much, everyone. Good evening, members of the cabinet. Good evening, admins of Biafra, Liazen in different states of the United States. I welcome all of you, the cabinet members, ministers and head of department of the Biafra Republic government in exile and the Biafra de facto government in the homeland. Good evening from here. It's another honor to be with you today in the U.S. town hall meeting. The enemies are quaking and have all seated in their various gossiping locations to watch again how we fund our liberation, because that is the biggest mystery to them today. You've seen them releasing research articles and many papers on how Biafra government is funding its liberation. They took their time to start analyzing, researching on our fundraising, and at the same time including the views we've had on Twitter. They themselves have posted and published their own finding that my ex-posts have over 226 million views on X alone. So they can understand the magnitude of what Biafrans are doing globally. And I've challenged them to publish their own drug lord criminal president Tinubu views. Let us see who is interested in listening to a convicted criminal in the United States. My fellow Biafrans, I want you all to understand that our freedom is here. My speech today will be very brief, and I hope, but I would like to point and touch many places and many issues. One is that I want to use this opportunity and medium to send a warning to Bianca Ojukwu to stay clear from anything sabotage against Biafra. If she wants to continue to have her peace, Biafra people will not look at anybody that stand on their way to freedom. Her husband led the war when Nigeria declared war against Biafra people. The great Iroko of Biafra, which is her late husband, commanded Biafra armed forces, and of course he was the president of Biafra during that 3 years of genocide. So we are not going to trade our freedom for anything political position, because a lot of people have expected me to react on the so-called frivolous appointment of Bianca Ojukwu. The reason I have not reacted is that it is not my business. And I believe it is none of Biafran's business. She is a politician. She believes in Nigeria, and that is her own choice. She is just one person, one woman with one vote. Today, you don't expect me to start reacting when 50 million Biafrans have consented to this Biafra government, giving this Biafra government consent and the authority to fight for their freedom. So who is Bianca Ojukwu? Only one person, one woman. So I don't want to waste my time, but it is very imperative that I bring this message to her. So long as she maintains her lane, mind her business as a politician under Nigeria, we don't have problem with her. But where we are going to have problem with her is when she used that position to fight against Biafra in any capacity. Then Simon Ekpa will change to whatever that will suit her. And then we will engage her in any way possible. For now, she can enjoy her appointment. I have no business and I have no issue with her appointment under Nigeria. You know, the question they used to ask, when will Biafra come? This question has always been what has been in the mind of the enemy for decades. They come like friends, they laugh, and at the end, the question is actually meant to mock the Biafra agitation in those days. My fellow Biafrans, I would like to, today is Sunday, I would like to read the Bible today. I would like to read from the book of Ecclesiastes 7. The book of Ecclesiastes 7, I'm going to read from chapter 7, and I will read verse 7, and I will read 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Number 9, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rested in the bosom of fools. When you expect the Biafra government and myself to act on certain issues, we don't delve into things with our anger. We take our time. But when we start, the entire world will know that we have started. They used to ask you, when will this Biafra come? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu mentioned this in one of his broadcasts. Always there, when will this Biafra come? When will this Biafra come? That's a question that many, both the good and the bad, carried in their heart for decades. But that question now has an answer. The question finally has an answer. And the infinite answer will come on December 2nd, 2024. My fellow Biafrans, as we continue to put in place the delegitimization of the Nigeria terrorist state within Biafra land, we are taking it one step at a time. We are not in a hurry. This is a fight that have taken the life of millions, and we've fought this for over 50 years. The Biafra government 72 hours ultimatum to return all the Biafrans that were kidnapped from the old eastern Nigeria and taken to northern Nigeria and other part of Nigeria to detain. Many of them have been detained for many years without trial. That 72 hours ultimatum ends today. And we have seen reactions from different courts. One of them is the court, is the Owerri Appeal Court. They have announced temporary shutdown because of security concern. This particular shutdown, it is now very evidently clear that Nigeria have no intention of returning our brothers they kidnapped from eastern Nigeria and taken to different detention facilities in the northern Nigeria, or maybe many of them have been killed. So, the knowing what we do not know about the fate of our fellow brothers and sisters, both women and children, that were taken in the name of arrests. So they decided to lock down because they can't provide our brothers they kidnapped from eastern Nigeria and taken to northern Nigeria. I want to use this medium to inform Nigeria, terrorist state, this evening, that this temporary lockdown, because they could not provide our brothers and sisters they kidnapped, should not be temporarily. They have locked down permanently and indefinitely. I will never reopen again. I want to let you know that the evil will only strive when good men keep quiet and silent. In the absence of good men, the evil men will always strive. Nigeria have shown to be evil for decades. And in all this evil of Nigeria, the good men have always been terrified, fear, and they remain silent for many years. Today, many good men have risen up and they are all in Biafra government in exile. And so we are going to commit a great violence on this Nigeria state, because that's exactly what is going to restore peace. And it has started. We are going to delegitimize Nigeria institution by institution, step by step, organization by organization, government by government, and at the end, they will leave our land. And we will have a peaceful nation where our children and women will live and walk in the night without anybody kidnapping them. Just like we all enjoy in Europe, where we can wake up 2 a.m. in the night, go to shop without anybody molesting and without anybody being afraid of being kidnapped. That is the vision we have for Biafra people. I want to also let those who are shouting Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism died with Biafra. And it will rise with Biafra. A lot of people are making noise all over Africa, especially those who have access to media. They say, oh, what do you have to say about Pan-Africanism? I have not actually took my time to address them. But today I will make, touch on Pan-Africanism. And I want you to look around yourself. Look around Africa. How many people do you see in government in any African country that is shouting Pan-Africanism? None. Only one. And he is called Malema, Julius Malema. Julius Malema is the only one in government shouting Pan-Africanism, but he is making a very terrible decision. His Pan-Africanism can never yield any result because it is a complete misplace of priority. You do not support evil because you have a platform. Julius Malema will be shouting Pan-Africanism, Pan-Africanism, but in as much as Arafat supported Mandela, that is not a reason to support terrorism against Israel. What happened on the 7th of October was a complete terrorist attack and must be differentiated. He must be able to differentiate terrorist attack and struggle for freedom. Malema, with his Pan-Africanism, refused to understand the difference between terrorism and fighting for freedom. Another person who is shouting for Pan-Africanism is Professor Lumumba. He is not in the government. So what am I trying to say? The only person that have a voice shouting Pan-Africanism today is Malema, and he is in the government of South Africa. So if you know that you actually love Africa and you really want Pan-Africanism to come to reality, there is a need for you to support Biafra, because that is where the Pan-Africanism will rise. You need people in the government that knows what Africa people need. And Biafra have young, vibrant men and women who will make that Pan-Africanism to become a reality. So if you don't support Biafra, your dream is dead and dead on arrival. My fellow Biafrans, December 2nd, we are going to make history. This December 2nd is sacrosanct in the history